Hello, I'm Jenny Fern and welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books, so let's talk about books. Today I am selecting 5 books from these shelves that I need to unhaul. And this is a part of my 500 subscriber special. Thank you all so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I have just thought of one already that I don't want anymore, and that's Hardball. And I just have to find it, and I think it's down here. So let me scurry around and try to find it. This one's actually kind of tricky because technically I did read this. I read it and I annotated it for school. I don't really remember anything about it. I got a 60 out of 60 on my assignment of annotating this book. Let's flip to a random page and see what my annotation is. If set back, try for more and don't let failure destroy your goals. Make yourself better from it. Don't badmouth people, show off yourself instead. I like that one. That one's a good message. So again, I have technically read this book, so it probably should have been in yesterday's video. Let me take off my sweater. I've taken off the sweater so that I can maybe kind of try to trick you that this is a different day, even though you already saw me. But this is the same day. But the thing is, it's on this side of the room, on these shelves, and it's part of like my textbook section, which I almost never show on camera because it's down here. This one's harder because these ones have potential, so I don't know what I don't want. Secret Life of Bees. This is Magical Thinking, True Stories by Augustin Burroughs. I don't know if I'm interested in that. But again, what gets me is the potential. Maybe it would change my life. I don't know. I think this is maybe something I don't want to have just because of what it is about. That's The Binding Chair, or A Visit from the Foot Emancipation Society by Katherine Harrison. I just can't imagine reading this right now. How do people feel about Ready Player One? I just don't know if Ready Player One is for me. Yes, I did read Armada, and I, again, really thought it was bad. I was considering Brooklyn, but if I recall correctly, on Books Unbound, Ariel liked it. You know what? I found one. 3 Cups of Tea. I read, I think, like half of this book. I got to page 229, so I only had like a quarter left. Since this was like, came out to much acclaim, I think most of this is actually false. Is that correct? I gotta look that up as well, but it's probably time for this to go away. Now, the other book that I've just taken out is Hitler's Niece. And again, this is because I just don't think this is something I'm interested in reading. I'm also eyeing The Gods of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs because I don't know if this is contentious, but his writing is really, really awful. I've read my fair share of Edgar Rice Burroughs, like some of the Tarzan books and stuff. I think I'm gonna keep this. So, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. God, I almost ate shit just then. So I was looking at Goodreads and I thought, let's read some reviews together and figure this out. So for Hitler's Niece, the rating, primarily 3-star reviews, and its average is 3.26. There is a review from Sue, and she says, a fictional book based on truth about Hitler and his intimate relationship with his niece, Jelly, I don't know. My thoughts, I don't have to believe everything I read. And this person read this book for a prompt, which was the book on your TBR list with the ugliest cover. That was a 2-star. A little confused about what that actually means. So this is another 2-star by Selena. Basically, this is a fictional novel based on true facts about Hitler, his niece, and the Nazi Party. I read it so quickly only to be done with it. 2 stars represent the fact that at least it was a noteworthy idea basing fiction on fact. I usually go for that sort of thing, but the book was just horrible. Hitler's niece, Jelly, whatever, was portrayed as a complete idiot, and although she supposedly disagreed with Hitler's ideals. She went along for the ride and didn't realize her uncle was a creep until it was too late. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this book. And so now it's between The Secret Life of Bees, which I think is quite beloved, and Magical Thinking. And maybe neither of these. Maybe I have to go fishing again. So Magical Thinking. This has a 3.96 and it has 56,000 ratings, which is kind of a lot of ratings. This book was pretty amusing. It was also hard to put down because reading from Augustine's strange perspective was rather interesting. Okay. Shameless, unabashed, he does not care whether you like him or not. He does not give an F when he recounts how many Catholic gay priests he had sex with. He tells each sexual encounter like he is telling them to his gay close friends inside an enclosed room. All the details, including the unprintables, are mentioned and their intimate conversations in verbatim. This reviewer just made sure that we know that he's not gay. Just in case you were wondering. I don't know. Do I have to read one just to see if I vibe with this? Let me keep this one. I'll keep this one for now. The Secret Life of Bees has a 4.09 and it's got over 1 million ratings. Alright, this is a 4-star review. Okay, hear me out. This is so not the kind of book I normally read. It's the kind of book my mother reads. It was, in fact, my mother who demanded I read this book because she read it in her book club. Double red flag. That is when I normally drop the book and run as fast as possible away from her, screaming and flailing my arms. It's just good. Totally not for everyone, but it's good, and it's stayed with me all this time. Okay, now this gives a little more context about the plot. The Secret Life of Bees is a fictional story set in 1964 South Carolina. Lily Owens lives with her abusive father. That's a strike against it. I absolutely hate reading about abusive fathers. Delivery!
Hi, YouTube.
I just saw a short that was like Beyonce getting interviewed by somebody, and he said, it's a British man, and he says a word, and I think she goes, black?
Uh-huh.
And he's not saying black, he's saying something else that's like weird slang. And she has no idea what he's saying, and then she says, I'm from Texas.
This ain't Texas. This ain't Hold'em.
We were going in about the secret life of bees. And she is haunted by the mysterious circumstances surrounding her mother's death. One day, Lily finds herself in legal trouble after a racist encounter, and she goes on the run with Rosaline. Will Lily find a place where she is loved and accepted? And there is, like, stuff about bees. I do like bees. I think I'm gonna get rid of this, honestly. Is this a huge mistake? You have a short period of time before this book is actually gone from my home to tell me. It really doesn't sound like something I'm interested in. Except for bees. I love insects. The Binding Chair has 2,000 ratings and 3.47 stars. Here's a 1 star. Let's read the 1 star. Oh goodness, another seemingly Chinese novel with supposedly historic details written by a white woman. Here's my breakdown of why this book should not be read or bought. First off, I can understand if a Chinese woman wrote about the life of a certain class of girls set in Shanghai in the 1920s to 1950s. Whenever Westerners write about foot binding, they seem to perpetually assume that it was for all girls in the time period. That simply isn't true at all. Also, not all men were even into that. Okay. This novel's main downfall is that it was written in extremely bad taste. Catherine Harrison heaps insults upon insults not only about Shanghai, but extends it to the Chinese culture and the Chinese people as a whole. Yeah, somebody is just saying it's really boring. So this one says, instead of an insightful look into an ancient culture, I got a narrative that switched between a cranky Chinese lady with bound feet to her Russian niece and her adventures. Not to mention that each chapter was a different time period and you never knew which character you would be focusing on. I will not be able to understand what's going on. Oh, my cat is trying to climb the wall. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm happy with my decision. And then I wanted to confirm that 3 cups of tea was a ruse. Some of the events recounted in 3 cups of tea, including the author getting lost on the way down from K2, stumbling into Corfu, I don't know, and promising to build a school, did not take place. So his Central Asia Institute was considered to be very disorganized, and only 41% of money raised in 2009 went to build schools. I only have 2 minutes of room on this SD card because I yacked for too long about all of these books. But the ultimate statement is I'm getting rid of these 5 books. I've decided to get rid of Hardball by Chris Matthews, Hitler's Niece by Ron Hansen, The Secret Life of Bees, I'm the most conflicted about this one, so tell me if I should read this, by Sumon Kidd, The Binding Chair by Katherine Harrison, and 3 Cups of Tea by Greg Mortensen and David Oliver Rellin. These are going to the little free library. Have you read any of these? Do you recommend any of these? I need to hear it before they go away forever. Did I make the right call in keeping magical thinking? Thank you so much for subscribing. Again, this is all in celebration of 500 subscribers. I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this, please consider sharing it with a friend who you think would also enjoy it. Consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back again tomorrow. And tomorrow is the video that I am most excited for y'all to see, and it is reading samples of your recommendations. Your recommendations are so good. I just so wholly appreciate it.